Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Metro Meta, he who shall not be named, he who stands above all others, and I'm here with
Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka Call Me What You Want, just don't call me lazy. And today we are here to talk about, would you say this is your favorite video game of the year? Or not of the year because it came out last year, but
yeah,
just your favorite game that you have experienced this year?
Well, Xenoblade 1 is pretty high up there.
Okay. But we are here to talk about the latest DLC from
Royal came out this year, no.
Okay. We're here to talk about the latest DLC from the Pokemon Sword and Shield franchise, and that is Pokemon Sword and Shield Crown Tundra. And actually, I forgot to put it in notes. Can you pull up a synopsis of it real quick?
I mean, does it need a synopsis?
Yeah, I
know the story. I can give a synopsis.
Well, give the synopsis.
Alright, so you roll up into the Crown Tundra, right? And while you there, you meet this guy named Peony. His daughter doesn't want to hang out with him. They're going on these Dynamax adventures. And so she goes off into these caves, to these Dynamax dens. And Peony has you running around, studying all the different legendary Pokemon. And the first one you come up with is Calyrex. And Calyrex is out here like, yo, bro, I used to be mad powerful. But these people don't believe in me anymore. I need you to help me be powerful again. And he starts kidnapping Peony and like possessing him to talk to you. And so you gotta like make sure that the people believe in Calyrex again and like make his little reef thing, and then you catch his horse for him, and then you capture him. And then
well, let's stop right there, because that's like mainly the gist of it. Yeah. And then from there you can choose which animals you want to go after. But so how did you feel about Peony the character? He, of course, is the brother of Chairman Rose.
Yeah, that was weird.
Not as much weird, but he just was like, yo, I'm tired of living in your shadow, so I'm going to get out of here and do my own thing. And that is exactly what he did. So how do you feel just about himself as a character compared to Chairman Rose?
As compared to Chairman Rose, he's very interesting because he's like more laid back. He's married. He's not as much of a politician thing. And I think Pokemon Twilight really changed how I see a lot of the characters in Galar. Like, what's her name? The Chairman Rose's assistant.
I forgot. I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, like her. Like, even just seeing, like, they had that whole episode where it's just seeing her day. Like, I cannot say enough how much I love that series, and I hope that becomes more of a main staple. And I think we're getting another season of that, last I heard.
So all right, let's get back to the game, though.
But, I just think that Peony was interesting. He was a good way of, like, bringing some energy into there. His theme song is, like, burned into my head. I really liked his daughter. I wish she would have had more to do in the story. I honestly really wish there would have been more to this story.
Yeah, I thought Peony was good. My one drawback about him is just that he just isn't a strong trainer. Like he doesn't challenge you as a trainer. All you really need is a fire type, and you're good. Well, and so it's just like when and it's like it's the problem that I've had throughout the series. It's just once you get to a certain level, the trainers do not challenge you in a way that makes you better as a trainer. And the only one who really challenges you is Mustard.
Well, what I will say is the lack of a challenge is something that they put throughout the Pokemon series. But what I would say about what's interesting about that, because I don't know if you remember Chairman Rose, his boss battle. I had the most trouble with
really
throughout the game. And it was mostly because his entire team is Steel type. And I didn't have any fire types or anything to counter that. And so it basically just came down to me reviving Pokemon in order to keep my
you went with the revival way?
Boo. To keep my Inteleon alive.
You are a cheater. No, you are a cheater. Revives?
Yeah. They give you revives.
Nah, you are a cheater. But yeah, so, and let's talk about Calyrex, I will say that he has some very weird legs.
That's probably why they covered them when he got on his horse.
You know what's crazy? I actually would like the horse better without Calyrex attached to it. Because what's the horse's name by itself? It's Ice Trainer
and Spectrier.
Yes, I would actually prefer if they were their own mons instead of having Calyrex just because
they are their own.
You do your own. I did the work for you. I harvested the carrots for you. I was going around asking people when you were afraid. You was in the cut just chilling while you was taking over Peony's body. So, and for a person to have lost his power, for him to take over another person's body and not have that person do his bidding, it's like, what's the point? Like, why would you take over another person's body just to talk to me when you could have did this years ago? Take over that person's body to talk to other people about the stuff that you needed.
I mean, maybe he probably did do it. The timeline of this whole, like, when Calyrex was running things is because Galar's timeline is so interesting with, like, the Darkest Day and connecting that to, like, when everything happened and who were the actual kings. Were it the dogs, or did those actually exist? So that overall, I think, is just Galar has a lot of, like, theory bait in it, like every Pokemon game. What I will find interesting is because, like, Spectrier and Calyrex are separate Pokemon. Like, Spectrier was it was a Pokemon that was there causing a lot of trouble, and the people helped Calyrex capture him,
right,
to become even more powerful. I definitely wish when it comes to Spectrier they would have tried a little bit harder with the horse. Like, the face region, it's just not good. Or just make it a Pegasus. The fact that we don't have a Pegasus in the UK-based game is kind of strange.
Right.
Or even, like, a good, decent dragon.
You know, I actually wouldn't mind a Viking type of...
We have a Viking.
Well, no, like one for this generation.
The Meowth.
No, but that's not, like... When I see that Meowth, I'm not like, ooh, Viking. I'm like, oh, this is just the alternate Meowth. I would prefer an original Viking type of Mon. Like, not even like even like an electric or a water one. That would have been perfect for me. But next up, let's talk about a little more on Calyrex. So he has you do his bidding. How did you feel? Because I took your advice when battling him, and I used a Master Ball, and I was like, I probably should not have done that. But how did you feel just about your battle with Calyrex?
I threw the Master Ball on the first turn. I wasn't about to deal with that. Why?
It actually wasn't that hard for me. Well, I also because I had the Ice type and you had the Dark type.
Ghost
type. So I think that was probably why there was a difference. And the first time I battled it, I actually killed it because I was using my Incineroar. And that's what I was using as my Mon, because I was like, okay, maybe if I just weaken it, then I can... of course, I threw the Quick Ball. Quick Ball didn't work, so I just threw like a Flamethrower. Flamethrower, immediately HP 0.
Yeah, because it's a grass.
So I was like, had to turn it off, restart it, and then I was like, finally, I'm going to use the Master Ball. But... have you actually had the opportunity to use Calyrex in battle yet?
Yeah, I've used him a few times.
How do you feel about just using him in battle?
He's pretty strong. He's pretty good. His ability... the problem with Calyrex, I think, is the ability. Because their ability is as one, which gives them 2 abilities, which should be amazing.
Right.
Except for Calyrex's ability is Unnerve, which makes it so that people don't eat berries. It's a useless ability outside of, like, a few niche. I think I have, like, 1 Pokemon built around using berries. Like, There's no point in having that.
Right. I also will say, I don't typically like Calyrex just as a Pokemon user, just because he's Ice. And Ice is very weak and susceptible to a lot of things.
I mean, yeah, but it's also one of the It's a more offensive type.
But it's very niche. Like, there's only certain elements that you can use it against that it will actually work on.
It depends. Like, Weavile is Dark and Ice, and that's a really good glass cannon. Just because it's so fast.
See, but that's 2 types as one.
Calyrex is 2 types.
No, mine is just ice.
It's grass and ice. Because Calyrex is grass and psychic, and when it combines with the horse, it gets the second type. Like, my Calyrex is grass and ghost.
I don't. Well, overall, what would you give Calyrex out of 10? 1 out of 10.
It's okay. He has a lot of meme potential. As far as like legendaries go, we don't really have a trio, so I guess this is like fine.
Well, we kind of do have. They actually gave us a lot of original legendaries. They gave us Zacian and
Zamazenta,
and then Cubfu, and then Calyrex. So that is 1, 2. That's 4.
Yeah, but they're not as strong. I would say this generation's legendaries aren't as strong or well connected as other.
Do you think?
gens.
Oh, so rank the legendaries from this game real quick. Well, how would you rank them?
As far as like them compared to other games?
No, just them in this game.
Oh. I'd probably put Zacian at the top just because I like Wolf one.
Right.
Then Zamazenta, Cubfu.
Oh, I forgot about Zamazenta.
Zamazenta, Cubfu. Then probably Calyrex. But the legendary birds that they gave us are probably above all of them.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, what was that one monster that they gave us? That one legendary that they gave us, the red and black one that was kind of like the...
Oh, Eternatus.
Yeah, that we have to put that in there too.
Put that at the bottom. That's weird. That looks more like an Ultra Beast than a Pokemon to me.
So I would rank it as Zacian, Zamazenta, Cubfu, Calyrex, and then what was it?
Eternatus,
yes. That's how I rank it. But you mentioned the legendary birds. Let's just talk on there. So after you get Calyrex, or however you try to do it, just because there really wasn't a set playbook for how you were supposed to go about catching the legendaries. But let's go to the other legendaries. So talk about do you want to talk about the birds or the Reggies first?
It's up to you.
Okay. So let's talk about the birds. How did you feel overall about the birds and just like the remixes of their abilities?
I really like the birds. They're really good.
No, I feel like, sorry to interrupt. I feel like this is probably my favorite, just my favorite iteration of them.
Well, there's the original.
Two. Yeah.
Only
So
two.
out of the first generation, this one, I like this one much more than the first generation.
The only thing I will say is Articuno has always been my favorite, and I don't like Galarian Articuno as much.
Wow. Why? Why is that?
His whole like magician visor thing just doesn't work for me.
You don't like Articuno with the tricks?
I don't like what's his name? The X-Men with the glasses.
Cyclops?
Yeah, I don't like Cyclops.
Okay.
As far as the legendary birds, I do wish their story was a bit fleshed out. Like,
fleshed out how?
I wish there was like an explanation or a reason as to why they're in Galar and why they're... Because again, they're legendary creatures. Why would legendary creatures have variations? They can't breed. Like, I would have liked a better explanation of like why they're in Galar and why they have different looks when they're in Galar. Because they're like radically different. There has to be like a specific reason why these are different as opposed to the Kanto versions.
It could just be something as simple as climate or altitude.
But see, they're legendaries. Legendaries shouldn't be affected by climate or altitude because they don't evolve. That's the whole point.
Who knows? So, Articuno, so rank these birds.
I'd probably put Moltres at the top, even though it's so hard to catch. And then probably Zapdos, followed by Articuno.
Okay. So basically with the let's talk about just like the catching process of the birds. So these birds were easier to catch than on red and blue to me. I will say that. And the other thing, it was wild. One of the craziest things was you told me that it was super hard to catch Zapdos, and Zapdos was probably the most exciting chase I had, just because you're in the
wild area.
You're seeing it in the wild area, and then once it notices you, it starts running, and it's not even flying; it's just running. And so as it's running, you're chasing it, and you eventually have to cut it off. And that's what I really liked about it. Like, I really liked the new dynamic that they put in. Like, hey, this isn't your typical bird. You can actually run after this and chase this one.
I did like how they gave each bird sort of a gimmick to like catching it. Like with Articuno, you had the like guessing game.
Right.
Moltres had the least one because you really just had to stand in the right place and remember how to call birds to you.
Right. And I will say Moltres seemed the most difficult to me, but after I really got it down, I was like, okay, it took me like 2 or 3 tries I kept having to go back to the train station, and there would Moltres be right away, and so it'd be like, I have to be right at this spot, and it would seem like super intense just the way Moltres would fly after you, would fly, and then it would come right, then you would see like, oh, come on.
Catching Moltres was so awful. I used so many Pokeballs on that thing.
Are you serious? That's crazy you said that, because with Moltres with me, I only used 1 quick ball, and I was good.
Yeah, that trick only worked on the Reggies for me, on one of the Reggies.
So, but nah, so I would say just in terms of difficulty, I would put, when it comes to catching, I would have put Moltres. It was from easiest to hardest, or hardest to easiest, it would be Articuno, Zapdos, and then Moltres.
Articuno was difficult because they had it in an icy area, but because it's not an ice type anymore, it was being affected by ice. So you had to think about the weather and things like that, which I think was interesting, but also it sort of took away from it being Articuno.
So it's interesting that you said that. You found Articuno in like the snowy slopes. Mm-hmm. So I actually found it in the frost area.
Yeah.
And so no, like that beginning area of the Crown Tundra. Like right when you leave Freezington.
Oh.
That's where I found it. And then when it like stopped and then it went to the 3 Articunos, I was like, oh, I don't know which one I'm gonna go after. And then it just came down on you. But I didn't actually have to worry about the hell.
Well, let's get into the Reggies.
Okay, kick it off with the Reggies. What did you think about the Reggies? Because I have some thoughts about the Reggies.
I don't like the Reggies as Pokemon. Really? I really don't. I get the whole Golem thing, but like honestly with the Reggies, I've never liked them all that much, and I had like 3 versions. I already had like a set of Reggies. I'm pretty sure I have like 2 sets of Reggies before this, so I really wasn't like, other than the new Reggies, I didn't honestly care about them.
Right. No, I was in the same boat, and even just like, how did you feel about the riddles to like open the dens and stuff like that?
I just looked those up. I wasn't about to work that hard.
Right. I felt that was like painstaking, but it was like super easy. Like, oh, I should have known this. And even when it came to what was the normal one?
Regigigas.
Yes.
Regigigas is one of the worst legendary Pokemon.
Really?
I don't like the way it looks. And did you check its ability?
I have not.
I believe its ability is like slow start, where it like hurts its it like cuts its stats in half for like the first 5 turns of a game.
Really?
Yeah, it's every single time it enters in. It's like awful.
That's crazy.
Awful.
So yeah, I actually I was playing with Regielect last night, and I will say that it is by far one of the most. It's a super strong Mon, but its defense is trash. Like its special defense and its defense are just so terrible. I'm like, dude, I can hardly use you because you're so bad at this.
I guess it's probably a glass cannon. You probably need to max out its speed so they can move.
Right. And I was just like, dude, you're like incredible, but you like really suck.
Yeah.
But so let's rank the Reggies real quick. So you have who's your
I got Reggie Dark. The
Reggie Draco.
Yeah.
But rank the Reggie just in order of how you found them. Not found them, but in order of like which ones you like to dislike.
I like Reggie Draco. Reggie Ice is pretty cool. Then Reggie Steel. And Reggie Rock is trash. And the fact that it took me like 30 Pokeballs to catch it made me upset.
And then you have Reggie Gigas as last.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually would put it as Reggie Draco, Reggie Elect, Reggie Steel, Reggie Rock, Reggie Ice, and then Reggie Gigas. And that's how I would place it as well. But what are the more exciting things that really actually stopped me from really pursuing the game more right when the download content happened was the Dynamax Den.
Yeah.
It's one of the first places that you see, and you go in and you're battling with rented Pokemon. And when I first played about it, I talked about this on the previous episode of Dust Off the Cartridge with Dallas Jackson. Make sure y'all listen to that. But I talked about renting the Pokemon, and at first I was like, oh, this is whack. This don't make no sense. But then I get it just because if you knew what Pokemon you would go in the den with, it would be super easy for you to get through. So using the den adds an extra curveball for you. And I will say, what has been your favorite get from the den so far?
I actually haven't gotten that much stuff from the den.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because one of the things that I know... Because with the den, you have increased shiny odds.
Right.
So instead of capturing the legendaries, because once you capture the legendary, you can't catch it again.
Right.
I just don't catch it until I'm going to get a shiny. I'm looking to get Reshirams from Black and White. I want to get that Pokemon, so I'll probably keep trying till I get that one. The only thing about the dens is I wish they would add more legendaries. Like the mythical Pokemon that are in the game now, there's no way of getting them. Like Victini. Like I already have 2 Victinis, but like you can't get Victini. You can't get the Shadow Boxer from last one. And the one I probably want the most from X and Y, Diancie, you can't get that as well. Like, the game supports them, but you can't, like, capture them anywhere. And I missed my chance to get Diancie, so I'd want her. But hopefully they figure out, add a way to get them. Yeah, well, I have been Dynamax denning like crazy. What was it? It was about 2 days ago I caught Kyogre. That was one of my favorites. I really want the other 2 dogs. So of course did you get Suicune? Yeah. Of course you got Suicune. But I want Entei and Raikou. Raikou. Those are the 2 mons that I really want just because I love the legendary dogs are probably my favorite legendary species. So those are the ones I really want the most. So I'm always going in, always hoping. I'm getting a lot of psychics lately, and I also got what's his name, Palkia. Mm-hmm. I got that as well. But yeah. So what would you give the Dynamax dens? Just like a remix from just the Dynamax stones or whatever. How did you feel about this new element to the game? I do like it, especially because of the rewards that they put in there. Like they even put in a patch to let you give a Pokemon their hidden ability. I do like the battling, especially since they got rid of the shield thing that isn't all Dynamaxing. I'd probably give it a good 8. I do like it. Yes, I will give this a 9 just because it gives you the opportunity, especially for for players who Pokemon, this is their first generation of Pokemon. It gives them just the type of this is a legendary. You can get this, and it gives them the opportunity to catch up on the legendaries or rare Pokemon that weren't necessarily in the Sword and Shield original game. Yeah, definitely.
But next up, pros and cons of the Crown Tundra. What did you think about it? I want to know 3 pros and 3 cons.
For the pros, I do like how they added the legendaries. I do like the Crown Tundra as an area and the lore. Like, even just them, like, putting fossil Pokemon as roaming Pokemon. I think that's interesting in general. I do like the new variants. For cons, I think both these DLCs have had fairly weak stories. I definitely would have wanted more from that. There's a few Pokemon they haven't added yet that I want. Skitty has always been one of my favorites. And, like, just trying to catch the legendaries. Like, I have a Skitty in, like, Pokemon Home that I set up to, like, help me catch legendaries. Like, it has Sing on it. I'm pretty sure it has, like, a couple of attacks to help. But, like, it's not in the game. So catching these legendaries was hard. I had to, like, mess up my Weavile in order to do it. So yeah, and then another con would probably just be like, I definitely would like for them to be a little bit longer. Not like I liked how long it took, but like, again, more story, more depth. We didn't talk about the Galarian Star Tournament.
Oh yeah, let's get into that. The Galarian, I'm gonna try to do it in the font of UC. Whenever Peony announces something. So, alright, bear with me. I'm going to try to do it. The Galarian Star Tournament. Man. So, once again, we're here to talk about the Galarian Star Tournament. Alright, what'd you think of that? That was why?
It's okay.
That's alright. Okay, so, the Galarian Star Tournament, once you defeat the legendaries, you get a bleep on your Rotom phone when you walk out the Dynamax den. You get the bleep, and it's like, yo, who hit you up? Is it
the old champ?
Oh yeah. So in a new turn of offense, Leon, who you sent home in shame, hit your line. He's like, yo,
you didn't send him home in shame.
You did send him home in shame.
He took control of the Rose organization,
but he lost to you.
But he took control.
Okay, but just because he took control of an organization, that doesn't mean he didn't lose to you.
That'd be like if I beat LeBron and then LeBron became the head of the NBA. I still might be champion, but he's the head of the NBA.
But you beat LeBron, and that's all that matters. But I will say, so Leon hit your line like, yo, come to Wyden?
Yeah,
Winden Stadium. Well, we got some news for you. We got something in the works. Come in the mix. So you go to Winden Stadium. You see a lot of people like, yo, we gonna restore the feeling with Chairman Rose. That man was wilding. So we gonna do it big. It's called the Galarian Star Tournament, and it's gonna be a 2-player battle, a multiplayer battle. You and your Pokemon and your partner each Pokemon. So who did you run with the first time that you did it?
You run with the same person, Hop.
I ran with Hop on the first time. I remember Marnie on the second time.
Yeah.
That I did it.
I do like how you have to unlock everybody, but like the first time I had my chance, I went with Nessa.
So, Nessa's kind of weak. I would not run with Nessa.
I don't care.
Just because
it's Nessa.
It's one. Oh, so don't get super horny over.
No, she's my favorite.
Why? Why is she your favorite? She actually is the easiest gym leader.
She's the water gym leader.
Easy.
Don't care.
Easy. But, so yeah, with the Galarian Star Tournament, so your first person you ran with was Hop, and then who did you run with next?
Nessa.
I ran with Hop at first, and then I ran with Marnie next. I will say, have you battled Marnie or remember her mons a little bit?
Yeah.
So I feel like Marnie is the rival that you really deserve.
Well, she's technically one of your rivals.
Yeah, she is the better rival. And she's better because she doesn't annoy you. Hop is literally everywhere, every step of the way. You beat Hop so bad, he goes to be a professor. That's how bad you beat Hop. And then Hop's like, oh, I got the feeling. I'm back. No, you are not back, sir. You literally might be the worst. On a scale of 1 to 10 is out of just rate because you played all the games. So Except for Blue. Did you play Blue and Red? You didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So out of scale of all the games, where would you rank Hop on terms of rivals? I would say he's literally like level 1. He is the worst.
But see, you haven't played the other, because like they've been making rivals like that this whole time.
So I cut out at around Ruby and Sapphire.
See, if you had kept playing, let's see, Ruby, Sapphire, Sinnoh's after that, and you have Barry, who's also annoying and energetic, but he's still one of those jerk rivals, sort of. And then for Black and White, your rivals are actually, they're like that's when they started making like friend rivals. But Chirin and I think her name and Bianca are pretty cool. But right after that, you have X and Y, where they started making like friendly rivals. And you have like this whole gang of like kids that you're roaming with, and like one of them's a dancer, the other one's like half of them don't even battle you. Like you have the one who's a dancer, and then you have one who's like a pseudo professor who's like trying to Pokédex battle you, but you always beat him. And then you have the girl, I don't know her name, she's like the light skinned girl, and she low-key has a crush on you, is the weird thing in the game. Like you go on a date. And then you have your like proper rival, which is like the opposite gender one, and they're just sort of annoying. And then after that, for Sun and Moon, they had what's his name? He was this island kid, and he was just like Hop. Like he was Hop, but more laid back.
So I will say Hop is the worst rival. I needed to take him back with Blue and Green. Those are rivals that really put fear in your heart. Like Hop is never a threat to you. Like you're never on the ropes when it comes to Hop. And one thing that I do not like about Hop is how when you're battling, he uses his legendaries. And you're like, fam, what are you doing?
Using my legendaries. You use your legendaries.
Actually, I don't. When I battle, I don't use my legendaries.
One thing I will say about the Galarian Star Tournament I don't like is if you beat the regular tournament with your Pokemon, they get a badge that calls them Champions of Galar, and your Pokemon don't get badges for beating the Galarian Star Tournament, which sucks because like that's something that they've really they've been adding like badges and marks to the game, which really makes like Pokemon unique. Like my Milotic has like a badge for like being the sleep the longest. And it has the Kanto badge, and it has not Kanto, it has like the Unova badge and like all the different regions it's been in, and it was a champion in, and so it's like so cool to see it. And now it's just like, oh, if I do the Galarian Star Tournament, there's like no proof that you did this.
Right. I will say with the Galarian Star Tournament, they played me. So when you beat it the first time, your prize is $1 million. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do that again. And maybe I'll get another $1 million.
You don't.
Nope, you do not. In fact, you get $72,000. And I was like, fam, I literally wasted 15 minutes of my life doing this tournament again just to only get $72,000. That makes no sense.
But you also get like another cool 60 from each game you play.
See, and also I had the amulet coin.
Yeah.
So I was getting money off of that, but that still doesn't match the million. I think I'm gonna try to play it until I have all of when nobody's a guessing game anymore. Just because I haven't faced a mystery team yet. Like it's always been Leon. Who's the dragon champion?
I don't know his name.
Yeah, but it was those two in my
Leon
first.
will also team up with Peon.
Yeah. It was Leon and the Dragon champion in my first one. In my second one, it was Mustard and Leon. So I think I'm going to get it until I have everybody unlocked so I can see who I'm actually playing with. But my pros and cons of just Crown Tundra is pros, of course, I like more game. I like the more Mons. And lastly, I did like the Legendary Chase. Cons of this, I wish there were actually battles you can have with CPUs. I feel like the Crown Tundra and even Isle of Armor, just missing trainers just really hurt it in the long run. Also, I will say it's a bit short. The story is all over the place. And lastly, just ending it with the Galarian Star Tournament. That's kind of like it was supposed to feel like a big finale, but I didn't really get that feeling. Did you?
It was sort of big. Did you do the Ultra Wormhole?
Yes, I did.
All right.
So, but yeah, so it just felt like the Galarian Star Tournament was just supposed to be this big thing, but I just didn't feel like it hit the landing exactly.
All right. Let's go to... So we have our final thoughts pretty much for it. What do you think is happening next? Because next year is actually pretty big. It's the 25th anniversary.
Of the original. No, not the original.
Of Pokemon.
Yeah. I think we're going to get a Heart Gold, Soul Silver remake. You don't think so?
They already did that.
For the Switch, though.
No, they wouldn't go to Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Where do you think that would go?
So, right now, most people are thinking Sinnoh remakes.
Okay.
Because that's the next... Because they go in a pattern, and so Sinnohs are the next one up for remakes.
So, do you think they're going to the Sinnoh region?
Mm-hmm.
So, what more would you like to see from... I wouldn't mind a game that's just... like a Pokemon Go, but it's just online battling. Like, you can do that already, but just like a pure battle game where you can bring your mons from like Pokemon home and battle with them against competitors across the world.
But that's already in the game.
No, but you have to battle. You have to like actually work through the game. But this game would be like a plug-in or even like a downloadable game where you're just battling.
I feel like there's so many ways to already do that.
Yeah.
For me, I do want Sinnoh remakes. I did like Sinnoh. What I'm looking for in the next Sinnoh is I want them to expand on the open world ideal more and just build that out, which is always going to be interesting. And hopefully they can add like those other Pokemon to that one and then just update this game to also work with that. What I'd want pie in the sky dream, because we already know we're getting new Pokemon Snap,
right?
Which is nice.
Well, we're getting Pokemon Snap, but we already have Pokemon Go, and you can snap on that.
But it's not Pokemon Snap. What I would want is...
Would you pay $60 for Pokemon Snap?
Yes.
You would?
Probably.
I would not pay $60 for
Pokemon Snap is very interesting. It's a different experience. What I probably want would be Pokemon... You didn't play Pokemon Champions, did you?
Yes, I did. I started it.
On the DS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a Pokemon Champions, too. I want that so bad. I've been wanting that for years. That would be my dream. Next game would be a because we've already had revival sort of with Mystery Dungeon. So if they could bring back, because I think Pokemon Ranger is kind of hard to bring back without the DS screen. But even that game, those games are actually pretty good. So I'd love a new Pokemon Ranger or Pokemon Champions.
No, for sure. If you're still rocking with us, thank you for listening to our Pokemon Crown and Tundra, our Pokemon Sword and Shield Crown Tundra review. Once again, I am your host at Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka call me what you want, just don't call me lazy. Follow me on all social media platforms at Flow My Hero. That is FLOWMYHERO. Follow Meta on all social media platforms at Metro Meta 26. That is METROMETA26. Make sure you are following the brand 26 and Glencoe on all social media networks and on YouTube at 26 and Glencoe. That is 26TH, the word and Glencoe, GLENCOE. And until next time, peace.
Alright, everybody. Y'all know who it is, Metro Meta and
At one Marcus Flowers.
And we'd like to thank you for watching and listening to our content. We'd like to thank you even more if you leave a like, a comment,
Subscribe. Definitely subscribe. We need that. Subscribe. Subscription.
Hey, don't forget to share it with all your friends and tell us how you feel.
And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that you got it from 26 and Glencoe Media Network.
Keep it real.